Hello snowboarders of the internet, I am your host TC, and today I will be reviewing the Nitro Banker. This board is equipped with Nitro's true camber profile, so what that means is you're going to have camber from contact point to contact point, so that's going to give you all that load, drive, and pop that you're looking for. This board comes in two sizes, a 156 and a 159. I rode this board at Copper Mountain where it was a beautiful sunny day, a slight breeze, and really no clouds to speak of. That breeze kept the snow nice and cool, but it was still a little bit softer, so you could really trust that edge, lay it down. Towards the end of the day, it did get a little bit soft and slower, but for the most part, it was hero snow. If you did venture out into the trees or into those shaded areas, it was still really hard, so it was kind of a stay out of the trees type of day. I used my Ride Fuse boots and Jones Mercury bindings. When we're talking overall flex on this board, it is going to be stiff. From nose to tail, it is very fluid, and it is going to be that stiffness that I was just mentioning, where even when you go to torsionally flex this thing, it's stiff. You're really working to get this thing to twist where it doesn't really want to at all. And that is going to directly translate into its stability, where it is an extremely stable board, but it is going to be a lively board as well, where you're feeling all of those conditions underneath your feet. When you're in the slush, it feels really good. You can pretty much pick your own line and not get rutted or anything like that. But when you are on that icier conditions with the death cookies and all of that, you're gonna feel a little bit more, keeping it a little bit more honest. When you go to load this thing up, you're gonna first realize that it is gonna take so much to load up. The tail really doesn't want to, where you're gonna shift all your weight back and you're gonna feel it kind of spring you forward, but in all actuality, it's really not that great of an ollie return on it, where you're doing a lot of work for what it is giving back, really, where this thing wants to stay on the ground. It really doesn't want to ollie into the air. So if you want to go big on this thing, not really made for it. Since I have you here, you might as well like, subscribe, click that bell, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our scheduled programming. This thing butters pretty much like a pound of butter that you left in the freezer. It's not made for it. It's not really gonna flex for you. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, this thing is made for bank slaloms, not for buttering. So I wouldn't do it. Just stay away from it. This board is pretty interesting when it comes to carving. It doesn't lay a super heavy edge down where it really wants to dig in. It kind of floats on top and it wants to keep that base a little bit more flat. And you might be asking yourself, why is that? And that's because a flat base is fast. This thing is made for a bank slalom, so if you dig in super hard, it's gonna be really slow because you got all of that toe drag and all of that edge just dragging across the ground. So this board really doesn't want to carve like that. Rather, it'll lay that edge in, you can trust it, but it's just gonna be really fast. So on those medium and large carves, it's definitely picking up speed. It feels stable, just know that it isn't gonna leave that giant trench behind you. On those short, quick carves, it's not gonna be the most nimble just because of how wide that nose is, but it still gets over pretty easy. So if you got a really tight course or anything like that, you don't have to worry, just work a little bit harder and it'll keep all that speed for you. The rider for this board is going to be that bank slalom guy. They're really not taking this thing out and free riding this or taking it into the park, anything like that. They already have that established quiver, and this one is just going to be for race day, so they can just take all their money from their friends. If you're looking to support us a little bit further, head on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. Sure, I could explain it here, but we have a great video over there getting into it really in depth. I like this board when I did take it into the race course at Copper. They had a couple there, so I took it into all of them, and it was absolutely a blast. This thing just held in the banks, all that. Riding it all mountain free ride, it was okay. Like, I mean, yeah, if you're carving on it, that sort of thing, but you're just pigeonholed to carving, so not gonna be the most versatile board out there. If I did need just a straight up bank slalom board, this would be the option for it for sure, because I mean, that's what it does well. They've designed it for that, and I think they knocked it out of the park. Comparable boards, the Gnu Gremlin, the Arbor Padre, and the Jones Freecarver 9000. Recommended bindings, the Nitro Phantom Plus, the Union Atlas Pro, and the Jones Apollo. This has been my review for the Nitro Banker. If you're still looking for a board to turn and burn with, why don't you go check out the reviews for the comparable boards.